Hey everybody, Aaron Blaze here, and we're quarantined.
Woohoo!
As you probably couldn't tell by the big room that we've got in here of people. We've got Caroline Wilson over my shoulder.
Hey guys.
We've got Vedanta Sproston over my other shoulder, over here. And we've got Ronnie Williford over yonder, next to Dustin.
Hey guys.
Hi. We are practicing social distancing. Stay away. We're doing all right. Except for you, you're okay. But yeah, so sorry. I hope everyone's okay out there and staying in good spirits and all that kind of stuff, and able to find some toilet paper somewhere. I don't know. We haven't been able to. Have you been able to get toilet paper?
A little at a time, but yeah, I've been getting it at the store. I've been
no luck on our end.
I got
We're
a
down
house
to
full
our
of women, so
I know.
I make sure we don't run out of that.
Stay thirsty. So big news. So we've got our the lighting course that we've been working on for the last couple of months is ready. It's out. It is available right now.
Woohoo!
And it's 50% off for the introduction. Plus, we know that there's a lot of people out there not working, and we're trying to make things more affordable. So the course is 50% off for the weekend. If you go over to creatureartteacher.com/light, LIGHT, then you'll find it over there. It's creatureartteacher.com/light. And the other thing, too, I want to mention, once again, because we know there's a lot of people stuck at home, there's people that aren't going to school, you got a lot of extra time on your hands, and Nick and I, and Steve and Dustin, we talked about this and thought, actually Steve came up with the idea. I thought it was a great idea. Let's give away the animation course for free. And so my fundamentals of animation is absolutely free right now if you go over to creatureartteacher.com. So that's pretty cool. We're really excited about that. And it's been very popular. We've had a lot of it broke our website yesterday or the day before.
It just
So
snapped
many
in
people
half.
did it, it broke it. But so today I want to, since we've got the lighting course up in a way, I just figured I'm going to do a big cat, something I can draw kind of blindfolded and not really have to think about, because I want to have discussion. I want to have everyone talking. So if I'm talking and all that kind of stuff, I want to be able to kind of divert my attention. So Vanya, do you want to say hi to Vanya? Do you think?
Hey Vanya.
I don't know if you're watching, Vanya.
She
Vanya.
says crazy. I see you.
Hey,
Yep. I
it's
see you.
awesome.
We miss you.
Yeah, we wish you were here, but
Except we're glad that you didn't get stuck here.
yeah,
Yeah, because that would suck.
Yeah.
she's hating life. It's horrible. She's been playing with manatees and
Hanging out near bonfires.
Oh.
getting drunk by the fire.
That's right.
It's terrible.
But
Fun
anyway,
times.
I'm gonna draw. We got Dustin here.
Hi.
We got Nick in Sarasota, and he's going to be answering questions as well. And so, why don't we? You know what? Nick showed me how to increase my cursor size, so I hope you guys can see that now.
Here's hoping.
Oh, there we go. And I'm just going to start drawing. But if you guys have any questions for not just me, but for Ryan, oh, I completely forgot. I want to show you guys some pictures.
Yeah.
The one thing we did last week, we had my watercolor plein air class. Remember, we've been promoting it for the last 2 months, and it was awesome. Hold on, is it on the desktop, Dustin?
Yes, should be under Sarasota.
Live stream slideshow.
Yes, that's it. That's the one.
We had a really nice time. Is this it? Right here. Yeah, look at that guy.
That's it.
Look at that guy. Awesome.
He looks ugly.
Hey.
Is that a new shirt?
Yes. Oh yeah. So that's the other thing too. Notice you'll notice in all my photos I have new clothes on because I forgot my suitcase when I went to Sarasota.
Hey, Manny just joined.
Hey Manny. Stay quarantined, my friend.
And
Here's my
Vanya-
father Marshall. But it was really great. We went down. We painted in Sarasota, Florida. We had a great class. Everyone was very sanitized. It was very good. And but we painted our butts off. We did a lot of painting. We were at the Ringling Museum. We were at the Bayfront. We were at Big Cat Habitat. We were at Selby Gardens. We were at the beach. It was great. Really had an awesome time. Which is why Caroline's here. She came over from England and joined us. Caroline was also on our trip when we went to Manchester.
Yeah.
At Peckforton Castle.
And Luke is watching. He says, "Who's that dodgy Brit in the background?"
Yeah. Oh, I like that photo. See that one? Vedanta?
Aw,
Yeah.
sweet.
Well, she's
Vedanta.
American now.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot of fun.
American girl.
It was definitely a lot of fun taking photos of everybody on the trip.
Yeah, it was great. We really had a great time. Great class. I'm not going to go through all of these because we've got Dustin. How many photos did you take?
Oh God.
That's
In a
Ringling
span of
Museum.
4 days, at least
That was
7,000-8,000 tops,
Yeah.
more or less.
So there's a lot.
Yeah. Like
And,
I still have quite a ways to go. I just kind of
There's
Um,
Caroline.
yeah. Dad called earlier like, oh, once you put a slideshow together, and I was only halfway there. I only had like the first 2 days done. So like so
Yeah.
it still has
Is
to.
Detlef watching? Has he poked in?
Not yet.
Our friend
I
Detlef.
think I see him yet.
There's
Erica
Gabby.
Bay's on.
Erica. Oh, Erica. There's a
Erica.
great shot. I got to show you.
Yeah.
Where's that shot of Erica?
It's a
Down-
bit further down the
down
down the road.
Caroline Wilson's watching.
Caroline Wilson. Wow.
Wow, imagine that.
Where is it? Really
I wonder
great
how she's doing.
group.
Who knows?
I got a great pic. Dustin got a great picture of Erica. I got to pull up here.
It's Steven.
There it is.
There it
it
is.
is right there.
Look at that shot,
Aw.
Erica. So you'll be getting this one in the mail. Look at that. Awesome. So anyway, it was an awesome trip. We had a wonderful time. We're gonna do it again when there's not a virus around, and hopefully we'll get more people out there. We had
Here's
a couple
hoping.
of cancellations. Once again, if you guys are just joining us, our lighting course is now available. This is something that I've spent the last month and a half, 2 months putting together, and you can get it over at creatureartteacher.com/light, and it's 50% off today and the weekend. And hopefully you guys can see my cursor a little better now because Nick showed me how to increase the size. But I'm just going to draw a tiger. Let's. I want to come up with a caricature. I've got a reference image up. I want to come up with a caricature.
Is the lighting course available now? Someone says they're a member and they can't find it.
Yeah.
It's. Oh, really?
Yeah, he said he's a member. He's having trouble finding
It's
it.
creatureartteacher.com/light.
Flashlight. Okay. That's for Trevor Barkus.
And also we have Ronnie over here, so don't be afraid to ask questions towards Ronnie too.
Yeah. So Ronnie was on the trip. Ronnie and I have been friends for the last 25 years or so. And we worked together, for those of you that don't know Ronnie, we worked together at Disney for years and years. And actually before that, we actually were in a lot of the same shows together, showing our animal paintings and whatnot. And
We were both
never
at,
knew each other.
Society of Animal Artists together. and
Yeah,
We know a lot of the same wildlife artists.
exactly.
So yeah, we've been friends a long time. And it's been super fun getting to teach together. Anything I can't remember, you fill in, and vice versa.
It's been awesome.
And Graham Ling says, I'm doing the animation course and I'm really liking it.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
good.
Cool. That's very cool.
And Adrian Abruzino says, hey guys, I'm graduating from the animation program from Sheridan College this spring. Any
yes.
advice for an animator coming out of school?
Get a job.
Get a job. Get a job.
Get a job.
I would say, I'm not sure if what your discipline is, if you're 2D or 3D. But don't let yourself get stale. I don't know if you have a job lined up yet or not. But if you can, do stuff on your own at home, build up that portfolio as much as you can.
And Esther Rogers is asking, do you have plans to sell your original watercolor or make prints of them from the workshop?
Not currently. Oh, how many of those? I can show you a couple that we did. We got a whole stack. Actually, where are the other ones? Where'd you do those?
This?
No,
No,
there's
the
a
other
stack of 'em.
those stack of watercolors.
Let's
Well,
see.
there's the
Yeah, just grab those. So there's that. Oh, there we go. I don't know if you can see it or
He didn't
not.
switch the camera.
Can you see it? No, he switched it. I don't know if that's kind of
There's
reflective.
an awesome lion. Or,
Oh, okay.
But there's that was one we did at the bay, and then we did some architectural stuff. Yeah, I don't know how well you can
Lot of
see
glare.
that. Is it? Yeah, it's under glass. But these were all really fast. The key was to try to get people to loosen up and really get the paint, on the paper.
loosey goosey.
Loosey goosey. This one actually, I challenged myself to do it in 20 minutes. It was a 20-minute
that's a great painting.
painting.
That's quick.
And the little cloud demo. Shoot, I should have had you bring your paintings, Ronnie.
I didn't even think. I was more concerned about getting Caroline here.
Yeah, and we did this one here. Just lots and lots of watercolor.
I was really happy about how the goal was to kind of get people to loosen up and eat
Yeah.
faster and knock things out, and everybody improved. Everybody in the workshop got better,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
by
Debbie
the
Calderon
end,
is watching.
everyone is just
Oh,
having
hey, Debbie.
oh, cool. There you
we
go.
go. There. Lots and lots. We even we went to Big Cat Habitat. We were drawing and painting the animals from life as well. So that was fun.
And Luke is asking, have you guys got new guitars at all recently?
Ronnie's a guitar junkie.
Caroline and I were outside the guitar store yesterday and did not go in for that reason. I can't seem to walk out without a guitar.
Yeah, me neither. So
So we were good. We didn't go in. But yes, since I've talked to you last, I've got 2 new Gouaches.
Nice. Arturo Garcia says, my wallet is so ready right now for this light course.
Good. Get it.
Go get it.
Get it, E.
Go get it.
There you go.
And he also says, who are these guests, by the way? Hello from Chile.
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 Oh, nice.
Caroline Wilson is our new best friend from the Midlands.
I would say
UK.
new.
well,
But
yeah,
we
it's
met for the first time in Manchester, and when we did our course over there, Ronnie and I, and Vedanta, and Nick, and Ronnie and I were so damned awesome that she decided to do it again.
It's true.
We'll make you good. We'll make good painter out of you.
And Anissa Mizaki says, who's this Ronnie guy you guys keep mentioning and talking to?
Ronnie?
Right here.
He's this fat guy in the camera right here.
Right there.
That's the guy.
Okay.
And Debbie says, Caroline, heart.
Hey, Debbie.
There. So I just wanted to. Obviously, it's a bit of a caricature. I didn't want to push the caricature too much, but just wanted to get some nice, kind of fluid line work to him. Get a nice fluid pose. Get a little twist in his neck.
You know, during the workshop, you were doing some demonstrations of anatomy for bears and anatomy for the tigers and lions and
Yeah.
on several occasions, I had people lean over to me and say, "Isn't it weird how whenever he draws, it looks like Disney? Isn't it weird how when he draws, it has a Disney character to it?
Yeah.
That it looks like Disney?" And I just said, "No, it doesn't look like Disney. It's that Aaron draws like Aaron, and that became Disney. Just because he draws like himself,
Well, the same can be said for you too, and we all. I think that's it. I think we all rubbed off on each other as well.
and yeah, you know, you can't help but bring yourself to your work. Although we all work so hard to learn to draw like each other. You know, we want to draw the characters the same and keep continuity in a film.
Yeah.
You want to, you know, you work hard so that you're, you know, everybody's kind of on the same page when it comes to models and things. But
Absolutely
I
true.
feel like your character design got absorbed by Disney. I don't think it looks like Disney. I think Disney looks like you.
Well, thank you. That's a nice thing to say. That's pretty cool.
And Anissa Mizaki, the person that asked about Ryan, said, "Oh, cool. P.S. He's not fat. He's just fluffy."
Thank you.
With many hearts.
Thank you so much.
And Gabrielle,
Is Gabby on?
I think it's a different
It was a
Gabrielle.
different
Oh, the
Gabby.
Gabby from our class, maybe.
Oh yeah.
It's
Val
Gabrielle Valverde.
Valverde.
Okay.
Says, "Just download the animation course. Can't wait to get started."
Awesome.
And Matt Yoakum says, "Ronnie, I still love watching your painting in the field course. Please make another series."
Oh
Well, it's funny you say that.
yeah. I'm getting I don't know, about 2/3 of the way through my new drawing course, and whether or not it's appropriate or not is kind of up to you. But it's a drawing course for beginners. It's I've had well, as you know, if you've seen my painting course, I always say in the beginning of my classes, it's really important before you start this to understand I'm taking it for granted you have some control over your drawing. And I just assume you're able to draw well enough to continue with the course from there. And I have had enough people inquire about it that I went ahead and did a course. I'm working on the course now of beginning drawing from the very start, from the very ground up.
Yeah.
And it'll be a kind of a beginner's class, so that
It's going to be great for I think for kids that are wanting to get into art or stuck at home, parents that are I think it's going to be really great for that kind of.
absolutely, or for people who used to draw maybe and haven't done it for a long time and would like to start again.
Yeah.
I've had inquiries from adults who have said, "Geez, I've always wanted to learn to draw," and this is going to be a course for that. It's with that in mind, and there's going to be more courses after that. We've been talking. Between the two of us, Aaron and I kind of have infinite classes planned. So, keep looking. We've got more stuff coming.
I just turned my brush around.
And I believe his pronounced Jorge Garcia.
Cool.
Had a question for you, Ronnie. I loved your course on color theory. I learned a lot. Thank you. But I keep stumbling with YouTube vids with people saying we should forget about the color wheel and think with cyan, magenta, and yellow instead. Is that another theory entirely, or is it linked to the same color wheel somehow?
Okay. I don't want to steer you down the wrong path here. My color theory course is from the basis of understanding color from its most basic standpoint. When you start getting into the colors that these folks are talking about, it I think they're tending towards digital color. This is good to know too. It's just it's for a different tool. I know
Yeah.
when I was
Maxfield Parrish actually had a similar approach. Did you know that?
no, I didn't.
He would do a red layer, blue layer, yellow layer. He would
Oh.
paint like you would
Yeah.
print. It was really interesting. Sorry, anyway.
Well, when we were doing the cinematography classes at Disney with Bruce Block,
Yeah.
he talked about the alternative color theory applied to film, and I think it's kind of, there are several different methods that you can study creating a human head or a face. There's the Loomis method. There are a lot of different methods for creating it. All of them are good to work from.
Right.
I don't think there's a wrong method that you can choose. My system for color theory is what I was taught by artists that I was painting with when I was younger. When I was very first painting in the field, that class that I presented is all of the work that came from traditional painting before digital painting was ever a medium that you could choose from. I feel like the other color theory with cyan and all those colors, I think that applies to digital painting, maybe.
Yeah.
Obviously, if Maxfield Parrish was using it, that was before digital painting.
Yeah, I don't know if it was necessarily cyan or that specific, but I know he was painting in a kind of color separation approach,
Yeah.
which was really interesting.
I kind of remember seeing some of his unfinished paintings, and that was kind of a cool thing.
Yeah. I've got a question over here that's in the same pocket. Hey, Aaron and Ronnie, would you use glazes to paint with acrylic the same way you would do it with oils? It's funny, for me, I don't usually, I glaze a little bit with oils, but I'm really direct with my oil painting.
I am too. I don't
And-
really glaze ever.
But when I do acrylic painting, I do glazes. I build them up.
Do you use a polymer gloss or something? For
No,
that?
I don't do that kind of glazing, but I do paint thin and just build it up.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's kind of like we do with watercolor. then.
Yeah, exactly. It's a lot like watercolor. And Vedanta, you paint pretty direct with acrylic, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I don't do glazes. Is that what you're talking about, glazes?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Well, you kind of showed me on the flamingo one I did.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
that
yeah.
I can kind of do to push the background back. I did a blue glaze.
Yeah.
And then I did a yellow glaze on the front.
Cool it.
That's
warm
kind
it,
of-
cool it off and
But normally I don't.
Mhm.
It was interesting.
And Julie Javona Crandall Livingston. That's a hell of a name.
That's a cool name.
Yeah. Is asking, do you feel like this pandemic may cause a shift within the animation industry? There's a speculation that this pandemic may continue off and on for the next 6 to 12 months. If that does happen, will we see lack of immaculate films from companies like Disney and DreamWorks?
yeah, I think there's going to be a hiccup, especially if people can't. I don't know that it's going to affect animation as greatly as it's going to affect live action. Animation can still be somewhat done remotely. I definitely think it's going to be affected. I think the biggest thing that's going to be affected is going to be, and I was just reading an article about it today, it's going to be higher education. And it might be permanently affected. I think they might find that, hey, this working from home, teaching remotely kind of thing kind of works. And I would like to see prices come down on colleges, and if they can teach remotely and bring their overhead down, not that the greedy executives at some of these for-profit schools would do that, but I just think that it might affect things that way.
Jim from the Glasses on.
Jim.
Jim
And,
Ship.
uh,
Jim Ship.
Abdel Jalil asks, can you quickly describe the quote-unquote Disney style and maybe turn that tiger into a Disney character?
No. I'm not going to redraw. No,
Start over from
Disney,
scratch.
It's hard to say what the Disney style is. There is definitely. I don't know that it's a visual style as much as it's just a quality standard that we always tried to keep. With full animation, animating things on 1s and 2s and whatnot. Because when you look at everybody thinks that it all kind of looks the same, but if you look at movies like Atlantis and
Look at Hercules.
yeah. Hercules, Atlantis,
Mulan.
Mulan, they are all completely stylistically
Different.
completely different.
Mhm.
Yeah, and so I think there's a tendency for people to kind of just group them all together in their mind, and they all kind of look the same. It's like every time I do a character or a drawing of a tiger, like I'm doing now, it's always, oh, that looks like Shere Khan. It couldn't be any further from that character, but because it's a tiger, it looks like Shere Khan.
Is
And
that
I think,
Raja?
I was thinking Raja, yeah.
yeah, and I think so. And the same thing kind of happens with Disney animation. It's just everyone kind of lumps it together and thinks it all really looks the same, when in actuality it doesn't. I think there's a tendency for the 3D films to start looking very similar. But other than that, I think the 2D films really stylistically were quite different from one another.
And Sonam Tsering commented, shout out from Academy of Arts. Our Professor Coco shared your link with us. So excited to learn from you and watch you draw live.
All right.
Tell Professor Coco thank you.
Thank you, Professor Coco. I like that name. I want everyone to start calling me Professor Coco.
Professor Coco.
I like it. So I'm getting the drawing pretty much done.
And Josh Berry also commented,
Refined.
another person comments, my college is still currently trying to figure out how to transfer to online art classes.
I know, they should go over to creatureartteacher.com.
Nice.
It's .com. It's our random spider elephant, spider fan.
Go to creatureartteacher.com.
Oh my gosh. YouTube. Hey, Aaron. Hello. I'm from Brazil. I started painting using digital art. Do you think going back to traditional media can help improving my skills? I love your craft. I absolutely do. I know Ronnie's got an opinion on this as well. But yeah, it's anytime you're learning any kind of new medium, it will affect the way you approach other mediums, and that includes digital and traditional together. Do you want to expand on that, Ronnie?
The only thing I guess I would add to that is that I really believe digital is just a tool. Oil, paint is a tool.
Dustin is a tool.
Yeah,
Yes, I am. I'm an absolute tool.
And you can use him as a tool. Understanding that every time you change mediums, there are going to be little advantages and little disadvantages to every one of them. They're going to have their idiosyncrasies, but I believe working with all mediums is beneficial to all the mediums you work with. They all affect each other.
Yeah.
Working digitally has had a massive effect on my animation.
Absolutely. Digital painting has massively affected my traditional painting.
Yeah.
Because I'm not afraid to destroy a canvas when I'm painting digitally. It's over the years, it's really loosened me up, and I approach my traditional work from a much looser standpoint now, which is awesome.
Yeah, yeah. Kind of makes you free.
It does.
Sets you free.
And
Can't you see the light?
Martin Berger commented a joke. Everyone's saying we have to teach online and use live stream now. Aaron saying, "Hold my beer."
We kind of did that the other day. We posted something like that.
Yeah.
He also says, how did you learn to paint meat sticks and flesh paddles? Professor Blaze taught me.
And Arturo Garcia makes a good point, I think, about talking about the Disney style.
Yeah.
Saying Disney has many styles. It's like anime. There are countless anime styles. Klaus could be considered Disney style, but not so much the design as it is the quality and appeal.
Yes. That's a really good point. Absolutely, I agree. 150%.
And Rowan, sorry if I butchered the name. Have you seen Onward? Did that come out?
Yeah, it came out. No, I did not see it. With
Well, I'm sure they're
Harrison
closing
Ford.
down the movie theaters.
Is that an animated?
Oh no,
film?
not Onward. No, I'm sorry. I was thinking of Call of the Wild.
Onward is
No,
animated.
Onward is the animated film.
Yeah, it's
They
the
look like elves or something.
yeah, it's like it's all
Yeah.
fantasy, but it's like what if the fantasy realms instead of being like medieval time looking,
Yeah, it's
like modern.
yeah, it's a new Pixar
So-
film.
Yeah,
Oh, it's Pixar. Okay.
yeah. But yeah. So yeah, I haven't seen it yet, but
I
I'm
haven't
sure
seen it,
they're
and I definitely want to see it. I love Tom Holland and Chris. What's his
Chris
name?
Pratt.
Chris Pratt. I think
Oh,
together
yeah.
they'll be awesome.
No.
That sounds nice.
I think it's funny how they're bringing Spider-Man and
Go ahead and open up that curtain in there because it's heating up. It's heating up in here. All you people
all the
are using
body
up all
heat.
my oxygen.
I'm breathing.
Stop breathing! Stop! Stop it, dude!
And Peter Brunel from Row says, "Do you mean Professor Blaze?"
Professor Coco.
Professor
Coco. That's right.
Professor Aaron.
Hey, Ron.
Hey, Aaron. And Katie Bird
got-
says, "Oh my gosh, my hero! I finally get to watch you live."
We're not getting too many questions on the other. Are we getting anything on the other?
I can check the other ones. if you
Yeah, I
want.
think. Nick
Are
might
those
be busy
new
with
questions
something.
up there from
No, those
Defense?
are old.
Those
we
are
already
old.
asked those.
Oh.
Kevin Sparling, he's saying he's getting an error trying to download part 5 of the lighting course. Should he just contact
Oh,
support?
Yeah,
At
contact.
Future Art Teacher.
Yeah, I think that might be something that Nick is working on right
Yeah.
now.
Rick Hunter is asking, "Have you got my email or message?"
We get literally thousands of emails and messages. Who is it?
Rick Hunter.
Sorry, Rick. I'll have to look into it. I don't know.
Oh, Josh Berry says that Onward will be on Disney Plus next month due to the virus. So
Yeah,
they're
I
cut-
gotta
they're
say,
cutting short.
Disney's been really good about making things available
Yeah.
and closing the parks. I mean, who'd have thought that
They would do that.
they would ever do that? And they really kind of led by example.
Yeah. I mean, it's Disney. I'm sure they're
are
willing
losing
to,
millions.
yeah, but they're
They're gonna be
I'm sure they're like a
millions.
multi-billion
by the
dollar
end of it.
company. So
But it's the right thing to do.
It is.
definitely a right thing to do. They're not being greedy, which is nice.
The only other time I remember them ever closing was at 9/11.
Yeah.
They shut down for a couple of weeks.
There was one hurricane that came through. They shut down for like half a day.
And he
Hi,
says,
Aaron and Ronnie. I'm curious about your daily routines. What habits would you suggest getting into in order to improve your skills and balance life along the way? Thanks.
Well, when you get up in the morning, brush your teeth.
Yes.
Start with that. Have some
Sure.
breakfast.
Eat well.
Actually, you know, it's funny. You wouldn't think this would be important, but like exercise, eat well, just keep your health really good. That's like your first routine. You wouldn't think that would affect your working day, but it really, really does. I do so much better if I am feeling good and doing well and I get a lot of work done during the day.
Yeah, we discovered. I'll speak for myself. I'll leave it up to you, Ronnie. But as I've gotten rounder, I really felt it this time around on our plein air course, and it's really something that as you get older, you got to be aware of it. Especially sitting, sedentary like I am right now. I do this about 10 hours a day, and if you forget to get out there and exercise like I've been doing the last couple of years, it's going to catch up to you, and it caught up to me. So you got to remember to get out there.
I think health-wise, animation's one of the worst things for your body.
Yeah.
Because you just sit there and work and you never get up. And watching your health, watching what you're eating and helping yourself feel good every day makes it easier then when it comes time to paint. If you're going outside and painting from life, or even if you're painting in the studio, man, it's nice to have your stamina last.
Yeah.
I've gotten to where I have a difficult time standing at the easel and working for 8 hours. I have to step away and sit down
Yeah.
I'm not as active as I used to be, and it's really showing in my work, I think.
Eric on Twitch. Twitch comment. I got your animation course you released for free. Thank you so much. This is wonderful. You're welcome.
Awesome.
And what's that?
I said I have somebody asking how do you get the course. I guess they just came on. How do you get the free course?
Oh, just go to creatureartteacher.com and you can download it for free.
For free.
creatureartteacher.com. Eric on Twitch asks, "Hey Aaron, have you ever had any close-up encounters with tigers?" When I was designing Raja for Aladdin, I went into a tiger pen with 3 tiger cubs that weighed about 25 pounds apiece, and I thought, hey, no problem. And we'd play and just have fun, and they tore me to shreds. I walked out bleeding. My shirt was ripped. On my back, on my front, my pants were ripped. It really hurt. It really hurt.
Bleeding hurts.
It's funny that.
So the short answer is yes.
Yes, I have.
So Luke says, would you and Ronnie do half a picture each at some point? Because it'd be
Oh,
fun
that's
to see
funny.
how it turned out.
That seems cool too. Yeah,
That'd be
sounds
kind of fun.
So what is that?
Would you and Aaron do half a picture each at some point?
Like
Oh, painting on each other's painting.
Yeah.
yeah, you
We used to
start
do
one
that,
and then
actually. Travis and I used to do that. It's fun to do.
You each start one and then you switch.
Yeah. That could be fun.
I have a segment of my drawing course talks about that. Having a buddy and drawing, blocking the paper, and one does one part of the drawing and then blocking the other half, and sharing that with someone. That'd be kind of fun to do.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
Sort of a tradition of that, actually, out in the field.
So just as a reminder for those of you that have just come on, our lighting course is now available. The one I've been talking about for the last month and a half. Dustin finished editing it. Nick got it all pulled together, and it is now available at creatureartteacher.com/light, L-I-G-H-T, and it's 50% off through the weekend, today and through the weekend. So check it out. Check it out, man.
Check it out. And
Check it out.
Anissa Mizaki is asking, so Aaron likes cats in general when it comes to his personal work. What does Ronnie like to draw a lot?
Oh man, gosh, that depends, because my interests change. What is my go-to? For the last, I guess it's been like 30 years. I do a lot of underwater subjects. So I do a lot of underwater animals, fish and octopus and stingrays and I started diving back in the 80s, and I became a dive master. And I think that the more, well, really, whatever your environment is that you're spending most of your time in, that's what's going to start showing up in your work. And so underwater subjects just became sort of a primary thing for me. And I've been experimenting with some fantasy art underwater, with some mermaids and different things. And
Those are cool.
that's been recently, when I say recently, I mean over the last 5 or 6 years, I've been doing a lot of mermaid drawing and laying out for some big paintings. I've done some color studies and I'm getting ready to do some larger work from it. But it's very difficult to concentrate on big giant paintings and do video courses at the same time. I need to get to a point where I can set the video courses aside and just concentrate on the big paintings, which will become video courses.
Yeah, exactly. I've found I just have to go, okay, this month, I got to break it up into months.
Yeah.
This month I'm going to focus on this. This month I'm going to focus on this, and so on and so forth.
That's an excellent method. Yeah. Also, too, I'm going to put this in. Because I'm in close proximity to Aaron, I don't see cats as being a primary focus of your work. You do a lot of stuff
Yeah,
all the time.
yeah. I think people, because of the course, and I kind of use cats as a go-to. Probably, I think they think that, but yeah, you're right. I kind of throw a lot of different things in there.
And Erica says I'll be working on the new course this weekend.
Right on.
Awesome.
Sweet. And Peter Brunel is asking, Dustin, did you have any pets as a kid? We've had a couple of cats. We've had
Tommy, remember Tommy?
oh yeah, Tommy the squirrel, of course.
Tommy fell out of the tree, and so we raised
And
Tommy.
a little duckling.
Okay, duck.
We had fish.
Yeah.
We had a little turtle at one point. We also had an English bulldog, Violet, and her
She
little
was
niece
awesome.
Rose. I think we've had more cats in the house than dogs. So I think we've had at least 5, like 4 or 5, so because we had Maxfield,
Yeah. We've got Ruby now.
Ruby now. We had God, what was that? Well, we had an orange and white cat. And,
Caledonia.
Huh?
Caledonia.
That is a great name for a cat.
No,
Yeah.
was it? No,
It
it
was
wasn't.
your
No,
mother
no, it was
named it.
Bruce.
Oh, that cat. Yeah.
Bruce.
Yeah. Your mother had a cat named Caledonia when we first met.
Ah,
She was a calico.
and then we also had a gray cat. Was it Jessie? No. It was
Anyway, the answer is
Anyway,
yes.
Yes, we have quite. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
But you don't have any animals now.
Oh, we
Not
got
me
animals
personally,
now.
no, not anymore.
Oh no, Dustin does.
Yeah, Dustin
Yeah,
doesn't.
I live alone, no pets, no
You've got-
roommates, no nothing.
Okay, 2
Just
cats, 2 dogs,
me and my computer.
20 fish.
I think this
Me
is a
and my
question.
computer,
Here's a
my
question
camera.
for Ronnie. This is a question for me and Ronnie, but I think Ronnie's a better one to answer it. It says, I want to approach a gallery. Should I prepare a series of paintings with the same theme or different themes, or should I paint just one painting and see if they like it?
Oh man. Okay. I have to start off by saying this. There has been a massive change in the way art is bought and sold now, compared to the way it was when I was showing in galleries. It's very, if showing in galleries is something that you're really interested in pursuing, then it's very much like book publishing. Publishers hate it when a writer writes in 10 different genres. they like to say, oh, this is a horror writer, or this is a young adult writer, or they like to be able to pigeonhole you, and galleries really like that too. If you really like painting landscapes, put together a portfolio of about 10, more than 6, but no more than 14, but like about 10 landscapes. Or if you like painting animals, put together 10 animal paintings. I used to send portfolios to galleries, but now we have portfolios online, and it's more likely that you will direct a gallery to your website or to your Facebook or wherever you have your collection of paintings for them to see. I would say this. If you're approaching galleries now, you're more likely to be approaching them through websites and email and things like that. Just have a really professional cover letter that explains this is the kind of thing I do, and I'm seeking representation, and I'd be very interested in your critique or your opinion, and keep it nice and short, super pro. Don't go into too much detail. If you give any background about yourself, keep it short and let your paintings do the talking.
Yeah.
If they're interested and want to contact you, that's the time to go further. And here's one more thing. You're going to get way more rejection than acceptance. You're going to have a lot of galleries who say, at this time we're not seeking new artists, or they'll say, this is not the kind of work we show. So definitely look at the gallery's website and see what they focus on.
But also just take it with a grain of salt, move on, and go to the next one.
Every time you get a
lots of
rejection, yeah, you're going to get a rejection letter from some of them, and make sure you send them a very short thank you. Thank them for their consideration. Thank them for looking at your work, and some of them may give you a critique. And like Aaron said, take that with a grain of salt.
But also, listen though too.
Yep.
If you're getting a critique, don't get defensive. Just listen to what they have to say, and step out of yourself and really try to, if you can see what they're saying, then take that as great advice.
Yeah, it's just like publishing a book or a short story or whatever. You're going to get critiques, and you can't get all suicidal about it. Your work is not bad because you've been rejected. It just takes some time. That's
Yeah.
all.
I want to mention real quick, and I think we have a slide for it. Dustin, can you pull up we have a brand new app that I forgot to mention earlier for iPhone, iPad, and Apple TV. And it's coming really handy, especially now with the courses, the animation course being free, and some of the other courses that we have out right now. So go to, and we're going to be coming up with an Android version soon. But our new app has been really, really handy. A lot of people have been using it. We had a lot of downloads. Go to the Apple Store and search Creature Art Teacher or my name, Aaron Blaze, and you'll be able to find it there. And it's really, really handy. You can use that on the go and have a lot of access to all the material that you get from our site.
That's awesome.
Twitch question. You had mentioned in a previous stream that you were making a Birds of Prey course. When do you think you'll be releasing that?
Tomorrow.
That's,
Just said yesterday
I've got so many. I've got a lot of irons in the fire. I don't have a specific date. The best I can tell you is this year. We will get it out this year. And when I do my animal courses, I need a lot of prep time for them. I order all the skulls and I actually have to. I sometimes I've got to re-educate myself and get re-familiarized, and so that takes time to kind of school myself.
No international travel though.
No, yeah, we did cut back on our international travel, obviously, especially now, but
Yeah.
That's what I mean. It's
yeah.
like you can't go gallivanting, so
yeah. So
more courses.
we are going to be in the studio
true.
quite a bit. YouTube comment. I watched Brother Bear again yesterday. I'm the youngest of 3 brothers, so it's always been my favorite Disney film. Oh, that's great. You know when Denahi's holding Kenai down and dangling the spit over him, that came right from my brother and I.
I bet it did.
It did. I used to do that to Travis all the time, and he's damaged for it.
You wonder why he hates you.
Oh, yeah. What is he?
Why does he hate you? I don't know.
YouTube comment. Hey Dustin, I love your photos. Thanks Ronnie for your painting course and creature art teacher. And Aaron, thanks for being a ray of sunshine in these tough times.
Ah, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Duan Ahmed wants to know if you're going to do more Procreate tutorials.
Who?
Duan Ahmed?
Oh, I don't know who that is.
I don't know either, but they want to know if you're going to do more. I guess they liked your tutorial.
Yes, probably down the road I will do some more, and we'll do some more brushes as well.
And Martin's asking you, Rania, what brand of watercolor, acrylic, and gouache paint do you use?
Winsor Newton.
Winsor Newton?
That's the short answer. Yeah. I'm a big proponent of where you spend your money is on your materials. So buy really good quality paper, buy really good quality paint, and really good quality brushes. And the gouache and watercolor that I use a Winsor Newton gouache. The watercolor I'm currently using is Holbein, which is new for me, and it's quite awesome. It's been working good. I've been experimenting with it, and I like it very much. I don't paint with acrylic as a rule. It's not because I don't like
Just kidding.
acrylic. I am currently involved in so many mediums. I don't have time to get to play with all of them and work in all of them. I've been a printmaker for a long time, and I haven't done new etchings in years because there just hasn't been time. So but I do paint with oil, and I use a lot of Gamblin brand. The Grumbacher Pretest is awesome, and when I'm using cadmium colors, I like the Utrecht the best. For oranges, yellows, reds, that kind of thing, Utrecht is just so cool.
Utrecht.
And Winsor Newton as well.
Nice.
They're
And,
quite nice. They're quite nice.
You're quite nice. And Katie Byrne says, I want to make a graphic novel, but every time I start working on it, I don't feel like I know what I'm doing. What would you suggest?
Welcome to the real world.
What would you suggest as a first step to telling my story?
Well, you got to write it down, obviously, right? And so write it. Don't worry about the images. Worry about the story. That's the biggest thing. You know, when we make an animated movie, we don't just sit down and start animating it. We have to write it. And I might work, you know, when we made Brother Bear, I worked for a good year before we really got serious about creating any imagery. But as you're writing it, you may come up with different ideas visually as you're working, and as you're doing that, jot those down. Do little thumbnails, little things that will help you remember when it comes time to do the real legwork, the real image legwork.
Do you have an art of storytelling yet, or do you do? You haven't done one, have you, personally?
No, but
You guys
Chuck?
have some.
Is it
though.
Chuck?
yeah, Chuck Williams has put together a story course, and Lyndon Ruddy has put together a storyboarding course.
both of those would
Those would
probably
be
be
helpful, I think.
advantageous.
Yeah.
You know what would be good is to probably look online and see if you can find even YouTube stuff of guys who've been doing graphic novels and see if they show their procedure.
Yeah.
If you're familiar with Neil Gaiman does graphic novels as part of his writing process. It's one of the genres he likes to work in, and he's got a writing course out where he does a whole section on how he produces his graphic novels. He's got a real specific procedure, and he doesn't draw. That's something else that's really awesome. He goes through and does these little thumbnails and tells the story, and then passes it on to someone else to draw. So
That's pretty cool.
you know, look at some people who have been doing it and look at their procedure.
Detlef's on.
Yeah, Detlef's saying hi.
And Gabby just joined too.
Hey,
Detlef
Gabby.
Gabster.
and
Hey,
Abby,
Detlef.
Miss Abby.
Detlef.
Detlef. I actually bought one of his paintings. It
Yes.
was so
Oh,
good.
cool.
Detlef is a great
His
painter.
stuff is amazing.
That's great.
I got it for a steal too.
And Anissa Mizaki is also asking, hey Aaron,
Hey.
did you get a chance to organize allowing people to submit their art to you for critiquing, or was the idea canceled due to your busy schedules?
Well, it's not canceled. We haven't been able to pull it together yet because of my busy schedule. Yes.
It's in the back burner.
We've got a lot of people that want us to go through, look at their portfolios, and right now I don't have the time to go through for everybody, and so we're just going to hold back for a little while. Hi, Aaron and Ronnie. If you were new to painting, how would you go about learning values? Asking for a friend.
Learning values. Learning values. Practicing thumbnail drawing is a great way to learn value
Yeah.
because you're keeping your drawings small, and the only way I would think to learn it would be to do it. I don't know. Do you have any ideas on that?
Yeah, for me, it's really about drawing and painting from life, especially outdoors. You'll really get a sense of light and dark, and understanding when you can understand those, and look at different lighting situations. Whether it's morning light, foggy light, diffused light. All of those will give you different value situations where you might have in foggy light, your value structure will tighten up. You won't have a very wide value structure. In bright sunlight, you'll have a really broad value structure. And at the same time, in bright sunlight, you can have super high key, which will pull your values together. So there's a lot of different situations that you can find yourself in. And I would suggest looking at other artists as well and seeing how they handle things like that. Joaquin Sorolla, John Singer Sargent, really great painters that also had not just wonderful color, but really nice value structure.
Might help to kind of look at artists' drawings.
I was gonna say black and white seems to be more stark, like it's more obvious when the dark and the lights, and it's harder
Yeah.
to.
I found
Color's harder, I think.
sometimes taking a picture and turning it to black and white, and then just looking at the values of that can help.
Oh yeah, that's a great
another
idea.
excellent suggestion. Yeah. I guess like anything else, you just practice it.
I do have to say that, especially, and this is something I mentioned in my course, my lighting course, one of the most important aspects of getting good lighting probably the most important aspect is value. It's not color, it's not temperature, it's value. If
I
you have the
agree,
right
yeah.
value, you can you can almost use random color, and it'll still work. You'll still get a sense of light as long as your values are correct.
Yep, that's exactly true.
So I'm just painting shadows right now, trying to get a sense of light on this guy in
Josh,
celebration of our lighting colors.
Cool.
Josh Berry's asking, I'm looking for an easel to use outdoors. Do you guys have any suggestions? Like a field easel, but I'm not sure what it would be called. Like what kind of easel would we
Well, there's
recommend
French
for
easels.
outdoors?
Yeah, the standard is the Julian French easel.
Where's your easel?
Oh.
Is it nearby?
Yeah.
The E8, the EASL? The
Yes.
ESL?
Yes.
Fine. Be right back.
It's
Vedanta's got a nice Julian.
It's stupid to say that the best easel is the one you're most comfortable with. I mean, it's hard. You need
No, it's-
something to start with.
That's absolutely true. That's not stupid.
You've
That's not
gotta-
stupid.
I saw quite a few of the students have the French easel. That's the wooden one that looks
Yeah.
like a carrying box, right?
Yeah.
There were quite a few students that used that, but there were quite a few
Yeah,
others that
quite-
was just using a tripod or using a music stand.
Well, that's the point I think Ronnie's making is
Yeah.
that you could have all kinds of different ones, and as long as you're comfortable with it.
It's also good if you're sitting low down, you can just paint off your lap.
Yeah.
It's also comfy,
Right.
so
Right.
Yeah.
I knew a painter in Wyoming who he did all of his he rode to his painting subjects on horseback. So
Really?
he had saddlebags with all of his paint and brushes and his canvas, and when he got to a location, he scattered all his paint around his feet. He would sit down on a stump or something, and he'd hold the canvas between his knees and do his paintings that way. Because that's how he got used to working, and he hated carrying extra stuff.
Oh, that's funny.
His name was Mel Fillerup. He's just a great painter, but he hated carrying easels and stuff with him. So it really is whatever you get used to.
Yeah.
Here's the French easel. Don't know.
You want to hold it? Can you see it on the camera over there?
Oh,
Yeah.
there, yeah.
There
Yeah,
we
there we
go.
go.
Yeah. So
That's
the
a great one to start with. That's the little half easel,
Yeah.
Yep.
and I still have
The
mine,
legs
and I
come
still
down.
use
It's
it.
pretty easy to open up too.
And how much are French easels like that?
What was that? How much was that one? Can't remember.
They've come down in price quite a bit.
Maybe 150.
Yeah, like
something.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
They're not super cheap, but you're gonna get what you pay for.
I mean, I love this. This is the first French easel or even portable easel that I've ever had. I've always had a studio easel,
Mm-hmm.
so I love this one.
I do too. I love that half box easel.
Yeah,
The
I've got one in there as well. Yeah.
The one that I have, I bought when I was 15, and so I've been using it for 45 years, and it's been excellent. I keep nailing it back together.
And Peter Burnell's asking all of us, says Aaron, Dustin, Vedanta, and guests, if you had a spirit animal, what would it be?
Falcon.
Falcon? What would yours be,
probably
Caroline?
a dolphin.
Dolphin?
Yeah.
Dad?
I'm a mosquito because I'm going to suck your blood dry.
A mosquito.
Yeah.
No,
He's a-
I'd be an eagle.
He's
An
a
eagle?
bird.
Yeah.
I think I would be a bear.
A bear?
Yeah, because I like sleeping.
That's
probably
true.
a good one.
Yeah, and you live in a cave.
I'm
You know,
big, I got a lot of hair, and I like to sleep a lot.
stretch
So,
your back
yeah,
on
bear.
trees and.
Or that or a lion.
What about
Those
you,
are
Ronnie?
both a good choice.
Yeah.
I would be a blue-tailed skink because
A
I
what?
saw one on the wall outside my front door this morning,
Aren't they cool?
and I can't think of another animal. So that's the one that's
It's a
in my
lizard?
head right now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
about
they're really
that
neat.
size.
Yeah,
They
the
tend to
size.
they tend to live under like stumps and cinder blocks and things like that.
This was a really pretty one.
Skank, you say?
So yeah, a skink,
No, he said skank.
Skank.
a blue-tailed
I'm a
skink.
blue tail.
I'm already one of those. Yeah.
Oh, Gabby said this is the live stream everyone wanted.
Oh, yes.
Oh, Dustin, you didn't switch the camera. It says.
What?
So no one saw the easel.
I did switch to
I thought you did too, because I
It's
looked.
okay.
I looked at
I
it.
showed
We can
again.
do it again. There
I
you
think
go.
maybe Nick missed it because I.
Yeah.
So here's the
I
easel.
saw
missed
I
it.
saw it switch over.
And
Yeah.
I'm not gonna open it because it's a.
It
We
takes up
don't
a
have
lot
enough
of
room.
room.
But it's a
There you
very
go.
cool.
That's a lovely easel. Yeah.
And Tracy Van Zeeland says, I've noticed that when you create light directions, you always almost start with shadows, then moving to highlights. What is your thought process on that?
Yeah, because I want to go to the darker value. I think it's just a preference for myself. I like going to the darker values first just to get the light and shadow patterns. For me, shadow patterns tend to be more dominant, and so that's what I want to establish for myself. There's really no more thinking than that. I want to go a little warmer on here on some of this reflected light.
Luke Boscott is asking, have either of you guys heard of Ichika Nito? If not, I highly recommend checking out his videos on YouTube. He has some fun tuning songs, such as Cabbage.
Such as cat.
So like open tunings? He's probably talking about like open tunings, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Such as cabbage.
Cabbage.
For your guitars.
Guitars.
They're
Now
playing.
I'm
Well,
hungry.
Ronnie was playing last night. It sounded great.
Okay, here we go. YouTube comment. Hi, everybody. Greetings from a small town called Jakovo in Croatia. Sorry. I wasn't quite sure.
Small town called.
I just wanted to thank Aaron for talking his brother into Travis.
You okay?
Aaron for talking to his brother Travis to do live streams. Now I have double blaze art education.
Stereo
I think
blaze.
Travis paid him to say that.
That's because Travis can't get you on the phone right now.
Right.
So he won't answer.
Hey guys, how's it going? I would like to know if you can recommend some construction of composition thumbnail exercises. I see a lot of people recommending doing thumbnails, but never showing how. Ronnie, I'll let you take that.
Peel off your thumbnail.
Well, I'm
Glue it down.
drawn it.
not that I'm pimping my wares exactly, but I've got a video series on painting outdoors where I start every single painting with a thumbnail and I show exactly my thinking. I talk my way through the thinking of each thumbnail, how I'm looking for the darkest darks, I'm looking for the lightest lights, and I'm dropping the halftones in. I do a fairly comprehensive discussion of thumbnails all the way through that painting course.
You do.
I love thumbnails because it's the tiny little drawing to find the composition or even to find the color and the values you want. But
Yeah.
I find my thumbnails turn out better than my actual
Thumbnails
piece.
are
I'm
awesome
always
on
like, I
their
love
own.
these, and then it doesn't.
Your brother had great thumbnails.
Yes. Oh man, his were the best, and he would pin them up on the wall when he was done. So he had a giant wall full of thumbnail drawings in his studio. I've got a YouTube video on thumbnailing. You look for that. Any of these things can help you out to kind of get a better feel for thumbnails. God, we used to use thumbnails just for animation, not even for paintings.
Our YouTube question: will you get the same result animating 24 frames per second on 2s and 12 frames per second on 1s? Yes, that's exactly the same. Aaron, I've never really drawn animals. Does good knowledge of human anatomy help and translate into animal drawings? Thanks for the free animation course. Watching you work is inspirational. Thank you. Understanding human anatomy definitely helps because of the comparative anatomy that you'll start to discover when you start drawing animals. But obviously, there's a lot of differences in shape and size and how things work. But if you understand that all the parts you have exist on most of the animals that you're going to be drawing, then yes, that's a big leap, and you can it'll help you with, let's say you're trying to draw a dog's leg and you don't quite understand what's going on. If you understand that there's a thigh, a knee, a calf, an ankle, a heel, all that stuff, and they all have to be there, then you can apply that to the dog, the leg.
And Luke's follow-up from the question about the YouTuber about the word cabbage. He says it's a 7-string guitar tuned to that, and it's
CABBAGE.
Yeah.
I guess is what
Oh,
the
that's a tuning.
yeah, the
It's a
tuning,
It's
Oh,
a-
cabbage is a tuning.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
Yeah.
and it comes out
Oh,
as cabbage.
father.
Father. And Gabby
There was no
and Gabby
please.
says, I'm currently eating my breakfast by the beach. My favorite bakery was closed. I had to get food to go.
Oh, bummer.
Darn.
Wah.
Life and away.
Twitch question. Hi, Aaron's. Greetings from India. I just got my first job as a story artist last month, and I want to buy my first Wacom Cintiq. I can't choose between the 16 Pro model and the 22 models. The bigger size that comes with the stand. Please help. Always go bigger, especially with your Cintiq. If you can swing going bigger, then go bigger.
And you'll be using it professionally, so.
Yeah, you'll be using it professionally. You'll
It'll be
use it a
worth it.
lot. I find having the bigger Cintiq is awesome. Now, if you're looking for portability and having to pack it up, then that's not necessarily the right choice then. But if you have the ability to just keep it in one place, then yeah, bigger is better in my book.
Yeah, I personally always find that there's such thing as too large, and I personally feel like that 13 to 16 inch range, maybe like at most 24, is like my personal ideal size for like a Cintiq screen.
You're wrong.
'Cause
No,
anything
you're
larger-
Wrong. You're wrong.
Anything larger just feels weird to me.
Just having the extra
There's
space
too-
for Photoshop.
There's too
and
much
stuff.
space.
Yeah,
Way too much space for me.
but you're not creating imagery.
I used to.
No, I know, but not on the
Not
same.
illustrations and
Not in the
stuff.
same. But I
For
understand
drawing,
what you're
I like
saying.
a big.
Yeah.
I just like a big space to draw.
And those small ones, the tabs and stuff just crowd the workspace.
Yeah, they do.
And Jorge is asking, okay, so when are you all going to record a video playing guitar?
We've done that.
There's
You on
if you come
Facebook?
if you come to our painting workshops, you'll get to see us play live.
Yeah, that's right.
There's actually
Come to me, baby.
a Facebook is full of that right now, full of our guitar junk.
So I want to mention the lighting course again. Our brand new lighting course is now out, and it's on sale, 50% off through the whole weekend, and it's it's my approach to what I think about when I'm thinking about lighting. I've gotten a lot of questions about how do I do that out of my head, and a lot of it really comes from drawing from life and doing it enough that you can start to understand how light falls on form. And one of the advantages of doing something like that is, let's say you are using reference for something, but you don't like the lighting. You can use that reference for form or anatomy, but then do your own lighting, and you're off to the races. So it's things like that that will really help you. So that's out, and it's at creatureartteacher.com/light. Aziz, more light.
I was thinking that the first time you mentioned that code. It was like, Aziz Light.
So I'm just going through now and adding. When I do my illustrations, I work from the broad, and towards the minutia. And so first thing I put down is local color. That's the broadest, and then I find those major shadow shapes, and then I find the major light areas, and then I go in and I start working some of the details like I'm doing now and adding little bits of texture and where light is going to be highlight, get highlights, where some of the fur will catch highlights. There we go. I couldn't talk there for a second.
And Arturo Garcia is asking, what's your favorite scene from Brother Bear? Mine is Kenai's first transformation scene. Gorgeous music and animation. That's actually my favorite too.
Well, thank you.
But what is your favorite? What is your favorite scene? And don't
Probably-
say all of it.
No, not all of it. Probably the transformation scene. Yeah, one of the reasons I like the transformation scene so much, aside from I think it came out pretty, is as a director, it was one of the first lessons I learned that as a director you just don't need to have all the answers, and you just need to know which way to guide the ship, you know. And because when it came to the transformation, I really knew we wanted something big and spectacular. Bob, my co-director, and we knew we wanted something big and spectacular, but we really had no idea how to approach it, what we were going to do. And we had this wonderful development artist that was part of the crew named Richie Chavez, and we knew he could handle it, and we just hand the reins over to him. And so we let Richie kind of go away. We pitched him the sequence, and then we let Richie go away and just kind of work on it for about a month. And he came back and pitched us a really beautiful, all in storyboard pastels. In pastel, he boarded it, and it was just stunning.
Did you
And-
guys pretty much go with his? Like,
Yeah.
did you make any alterations
We
to what he had
really
done?
didn't alter it that much. It was his approach was the approach we went with.
That's cool.
It was very cool. Matter of fact, the cover of the Brother Bear book is one of Richie's pastels for that sequence. Where did I put that? It's
I'll look for it if you.
yeah, it's all right. Don't worry about it. But yeah, the art of Brother Bear has got. Maybe if there's no, I don't know where it is. Oh, I got it. I gotta put my books in order.
Got the
My
Hunchback of
bookshelf
Notre
is
Dame
like
up
my
there.
brain. It's just all over the place.
Yeah, there's lots and lots and lots of books.
But Richie is just a brilliant artist. What am I doing?
What are you doing?
I don't know.
And Josh Berry's asking, so my college pushes still lives and realism because they say it will help improve everything whenever you develop your own style. Would you agree to that?
I think drawing from life is beneficial. I don't know that you have to do still lifes and realism, but I mean understanding how to draw what you see does help with your draftsmanship. Do you want to add to that, Ronnie?
Yeah. I would say this. Go along with what they're doing. There's no one right way to reach a destination, but I'll say this: drawing still lifes and concentrating on realism is a discipline. And in college, you're at this point where you're just learning to control your disciplines, and there are all these great discoveries to be made when something is absolutely perfectly still and not moving, and you can really think. You know, when you're drawing animals and things from life, if you're out in the field in a coffee shop or whatever and you're drawing from life, that's a totally different discipline. And that's important too, but I don't know. I would think that if I could see how drawing still lifes and concentrating on realism could be an advantage. You may not do that in your professional life, but it's kind of like you're learning the rules so you can later you can break them.
Mm-hmm.
If you're breaking the rules because you're stupid, that's not control. You know. I think you're probably on the right track. It's probably not terribly fun, but I think it could be good for you.
Twitch question. Hi, Aaron. Greetings from India. I just got. Oh, sorry. I skipped over that one. Hey, Aaron. I was wondering if you ever heard of aphantasia, having a blind mind's eye, and how you would rate your own ability to visualize and how it relates to your work. Yeah, I don't have that at all. I can see everything fully detailed in my mind.
And a question for you, Ronnie. Martin is asking, can Ronnie talk a little about how he started painting and drawing, and how did he study anatomy, and what were your struggles?
All the struggles are exactly the same as yours. I was no prodigy. I've never been a prodigy. Everything I've developed, I had to really work for it. When I studied anatomy specifically, I was studying with a guy named John Zahorik, who did this class called The Mannequin, where we were taking individual bones and individual regions of bones and drawing them over and over and over again. And homework at night would be, I need you to draw me 500 rib cages. I need 100 of them to be from this angle and 100 from this angle. It was a repetitive class to learn to get size relationships and shapes in your head. By the end of that class, I could draw an entire figure from any angle, in any position, out of my head, male and female. There was just a really, what would you want to call it? Just a disciplined class. And later we ended up taking a little skeleton and putting muscles on it and learning all the origins and things. That's how I learned anatomy, was by really honing down specifically and studying it for humans. For painting, I started painting with my brother. My brother was 20 years older than me, and he was already an artist by the time I was born. So he used to draw at his drawing board when I was a little kid, and I would lay under his drawing board on the floor, and I would draw along with him. And I got my start painting with him when I bought my first French easel when I was 15, and we started painting in Yellowstone Park. And later I started painting with other artists who I aspired to. I never went to college to study art. I painted with other artists. And you can do that too. Every town all over the world has an art community. Somewhere there's an art community of people who work together and paint together. So, you find those people and you go out and you work with them, and if you can tolerate what they put you through, they'll make you good really fast.
Yeah.
Because they're a lot meaner than college professors. But that's how I learned to paint, and that's where I learned anatomy. It's a matter of just doing it, and doing it a lot.
YouTube comment. Hey, Art Dad. How you doing?
Hi, Art Dad.
And once again, I want to remind you guys, if you're just coming on, we've got our brand new art lighting course, My Approach to Lighting. It's out now.
And speaking of which, the 12 says, just bought the light course. I was really looking forward to this. I highly recommend it, everyone.
Awesome. Thank you. That was Detlef?
Yeah, that's...
Oh, thanks, man.
So... And Kirk Michael says, "Hi, Aaron, Dustin, Ronnie, and team. Guys, hope everyone is okay. We are good."
We are good.
Thank you. Everyone's well.
Fine.
I'm good. Let me just get my Corona beer.
We're
With
keeping our pet European safe.
That's right.
European. Yeah. What? Are you flying back over the weekend, or is it?
I can't get a flight yet.
Oh, you
so
can't.
I'm
Not
flying
yet.
back yet.
Please.
Oh no.
She's
So they're not
I'm
kidding.
stranded.
Oh,
dude.
you're stranded.
she's stuck in America.
Oh
so
no.
We're going to
Yeah,
We're
it's
just gonna-
awful.
we're gonna
It's
keep
terrible.
feeding her and
Oh.
training her
Terrible.
until.
I might even have to mow the lawn.
Oh no.
Dude.
Pay your dues.
Yeah, I told her we had a tractor, so she's excited.
We'll work for food.
That's right.
Hi, I purchased your Procreate course, but every time I color my drawings, it always turns out kind of grainy. Any idea why? You're probably using the wrong. Your size, your resolution's too small. Try increasing your resolution. I don't do anything less than like 4,000 pixels for the files. So try increasing your file size.
I should buy your Procreate course.
Yeah,
You got an iPad?
yeah.
I don't, but I could get an iPad.
Oh, you want a toe? I can get you a toe.
I can get you a toe from over there.
What movie is that?
Big Lebowski.
That's right. Good job.
The Lebowski.
Someone has a
Shut up,
question about your
Donnie.
color palette. So they say you always keep a big color palette up, but then you always click on the smaller one. Is there a reason why you do that?
I don't. The one over on the right. I don't even realize it's there. I just don't
You're
use
just
it.
so out of
It's
habit.
just it's just there. Right now, I'm just building up grays. Playing with grays.
Rowan says, "Don't forget the whiskers."
Oh, I'm not gonna forget the whiskers. But you know what I have forgotten?
Saving.
Saving.
There you go.
Never forget to save your work.
Tigre.
And he says, "Wait, you have stuff for Procreate?
Yeah.
What?"
Yes, go over to creatureartteacher.com and you can find my Procreate course. How are we doing on time? What time
We
is it?
are at 2:36.
Oh, so we've only been at it an hour and a half.
And you're looking like you're
Getting close.
You're coming
Yeah.
in on it.
almost
Close.
there.
rendering
Almost
this
there.
pretty quick.
Hey there, Mitchell here. Hey, Mitchell. I'm at work, so if you could real quick give me your best advice to a beginning artist on how best to speed up getting better at drawing and painting in general.
Run faster.
Do it a lot. That's really the only way you'll get faster. Is to do it a lot. It's about, you're going to build muscle memory. And that muscle memory applies to the brain as well. And creativity. And the way you see. All of that.
Remember we were at Blue Springs painting the other day, and a woman came up and she said, "Yeah, my brother always told me I need to practice to get better, but I think you're just born with talent.
Yeah.
You either
no.
have it or you don't." And we
It's
were like,
practice.
"No."
And what
you
I did to
gotta-
her, remember I smacked her?
Yeah.
You didn't.
You punched her. No. But we were like, "No, you need to practice. You have to."
That's a
you
very
have to work at it."
dismissive view. It's an insulting, dismissive view
Oh, you
It
just
really
were
is.
born with
Of-
talent.
of
You
the
didn't have to work for it.
They're dismissing all the work you put into development of your skill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And punted, so you don't have to work for a living.
Wow. Little baby Jesus.
Little baby Jesus.
Ain't you talented?
Dear Lord, baby Jesus.
So what I'm doing here is, even on tiger's stripes, and you'll see it on zebra stripes, they'll reflect back some of the color, this gray value to some of these stripes.
That's awesome. That's one of those little tiny rules that
Yeah, it really
makes such a huge difference.
Yeah, when you do it, it really does help. You can see too. Yeah, I stay pretty loose. This is all pretty loose right here.
Do you have any advice for art students who lost their part-time job due to the coronavirus?
No, because this is new to me as well. You got to get out there. Just know that everyone's in the same boat. If you can take some solace in that. But it's, I know it's a tough one, and it's, yeah, geez, it's, I don't know what to tell you, other than just, have faith that it's gonna get better, and practice while you can.
I mean, any kind of obviously online work, because there are things out there, where you can work from home, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's gonna be tough.
Brown says, Dustin, please. Zoink and away!
That's the rabbit season.
Spit and drops.
That's right.
Oh no,
Yes,
I'm gonna die.
indeed.
But they're clean and they don't have any virus in them.
Thank God for that. Carla McConnell says, hey, Caroline, how's Florida?
Terrible, really bad. You wouldn't want to be here.
Just horrible.
That's really cool. I saw a manatee. Oh man.
Oh yeah.
I saw that video.
You got our first manatee experience.
That's really
Yeah.
cool.
It really is.
Yeah, I need to show you Blake.
A little easier access. And so the Procreate course, for an indefinite amount of time right now, we don't, it's just we're gonna keep this up. It's 45% off.
Is this stream freezing for anybody else? It just froze for me.
Just
Someone else
Oh, we're-
mentioned it frozen.
looks like
Is it?
How's our rate?
yeah, internet is taking a slight pooper. Looks like. Let's try refreshing. Looks like
If
we
you lose
are.
if you lose us, folks, we might have to come back. I'm almost done.
Looks like we're in the green now. Looks like it's stabilizing.
Oh, yep, there we go.
Oh nope,
Oh,
no, there it
that's-
goes. Our kilobytes right now are constantly going to the zero right now. Like I might need to refresh the stream.
If you're watching us, folks, we're going in and out.
Yeah.
We're working on it. And if you're not there,
All right,
I'll talk to myself.
at the stream
Okay.
here right now
Uh-oh.
At all?
at all. Saying the site can't be reached.
He is blinked out.
You got the girls off of the TV.
Yeah, girls, turn the TV off, please. Yeah, they got out
Looks
of the
like we're
Wi-Fi.
good up here.
I'm going to turn the. Are you getting internet there now?
He's
Well,
refreshing.
we got internet up there. So
Just not on your computer.
just not on the laptop. I'm gonna reset the Wi-Fi here. If anybody can hear us, we apologize for the technical difficulties.
Yeah, I've got internet over here.
I'm getting.
Hello.
I'm flying blind here.
Dustin's flying blind. Can you hear me? Okay. All right. So we're still talking to everybody. Hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
Oh,
Okay.
Hi.
good. Good.
All right. We'll keep going. All right. Thanks. Bye. See, aren't you glad we didn't swear?
Gosh,
Like the
darn
last
it.
time it happened. Yeah, I think it's just Facebook that's.
Yeah, Facebook's still down.
Facebook is in general is
It's
down
just,
because
Dick
I'm
just said it
getting
was
access
Facebook.
on YouTube.
Okay.
So yeah, I think Facebook crashed.
Well, everybody go to YouTube.
Well, that's a bummer.
There we go.
All right, everyone, evacuate from Facebook over to YouTube.
They can't hear you.
Exactly. Everything I say is pointless, like it always is.
Yeah, Facebook is unable to open on any of my devices, so that's
Yeah.
probably the issue.
Yeah.
Well, at least they
Facebook's
didn't hear
servers
you say
done.
evacuate.
Evacuate the facility.
So there's certain areas in here I like leaving my underdrawing. It tends to give the whole thing a little bit more life. But there are places where I want to clean it up. Like along here.
Oh, there's just a whole new group of folks on YouTube. I've never really watched the YouTube.
Well, that's what I'm saying, yeah. It's,
Hi, YouTube guys.
Holy cannoli.
Nick usually monitors that.
Yeah, usually I monitor the Facebook, and usually he monitors everyone else, like YouTube,
Everything
Twitch, and
Everything else.
Twitter. Yeah, everything
I
else.
think Facebook is having an outage.
Yeah, Facebook is having a oopsie daisy.
There's Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. So yeah.
Right, so I'm just going to put some finishing touches and whiskers. And we might call this one Fini. And the finishing touches, I'm going to, I'll do some fur patterns in here.
Seems like I kind of remember you had a light class that you have just done.
Yes, I did. I just finished a course on lighting.
On lighting.
In case you're just joining us, yeah, check it out because I did finish a course on lighting. Just came out today over at creatureartteacher.com/light.
Aziz, light.
All right, so oh, hey Aaron, any animation / character design book you would recommend? Yes. What's this? Jeez, I'm drawing a blank. The Animator Survival Kit is awesome
Oh yeah, yeah.
by Richard Williams, and Illusion of Life. It's not necessarily character design. Oh, Preston Blair.
Preston Blair has one on character design basics.
That's great.
It's a good one.
And I did an entire course, which is, I kind of go over all of my rules on character design and how I approach it. And it's, all the stuff that I kind of thought about it when I was designing characters for The Lion King and Mulan and Aladdin and those films. Put a lot of stuff in there as well. I've just got a couple of things here. Sorry, I'm gonna
It
get
looks
this done.
awesome. He's just looking great.
Oh yeah. Loving that lighting.
YouTube question. Hey guys, so I want to start painting, but I don't know which type of paint I should start with. What type of paint do you think is best for a beginner? Acrylic, oil, watercolor, etc.
Yes.
Ronnie, do you have an opinion on that?
I started with oil. I don't know where you started.
I started with watercolor.
Did you? Okay,
We
see,
did.
there's probably no right answer.
And I started with acrylic.
Did you?
Yeah, you
And I
did.
started with finger paints.
Nice.
We were having a discussion during a workshop with some of the guys at lunch, and I was talking about how oil paint is kind of like owning a dog. It pretty much stays where you put it, and it just wants to
Good.
make you happy.
Yeah.
And painting with watercolor is like having a cat, because it kind of loves you, but it has a mind of its own.
Yeah, and
And
you
it's
kind of
not
do whatever it
gonna-
wants to.
You can live with it and be happy, and it loves you, but it does what it wants. And so I like the idea of oil for a few reasons. It stays wet for a long time, so when you're a beginner and you're still thinking your way through, it's not drying on you while you're trying to control it.
Yes.
watercolor and acrylic both dry very quickly, which is an advantage if you're trying to get through a piece and have it be dry and ready to frame in a short period of time. But the oil gives you longer working time, and if you're starting out, and it's, you know, learning to paint is frustrating anyway, and so
Painting is hard.
yeah, it's just hard and it takes time, and you know, you don't get excellent results for a little while, so you have to, you know, relax into it. And I don't know, that's my idea on starting to paint.
I
You said
agree.
you started with watercolor. How?
I was 8 years old, and so
Oh, man.
my stepfather, who had a degree in interior design, started teaching me how to create these washes in watercolor.
Oh, that's cool.
And I just remember being so fascinated by, you know, he showed me sunsets, you know, how to do a sunset in watercolor.
Oh man.
And just how
That's cool.
fascinated I was by letting the water bleed. And it was relatively, you know, you're not going to make a big mess with it, you know, as far as, you know, the oil paint and all that kind of stuff. In
Correct.
comparison, I think it's a little bit cleaner, but Ronnie's absolutely right. It's got a mind of its own. But that was one of the things my stepfather taught me, was that, you know, you can embrace that
Absolutely. Yeah.
and let it
That's
do its
cool.
own thing, and it was really kind of cool.
That's really awesome. Well, yeah. So I guess the upshot is there's no real true answer to that. You start with what makes you comfortable.
Yeah. There's a few too many whiskers there. Now, I'm going to put all of these into a folder. Let me do this. There we go.
So that's
Put all those into a folder. I'm going to copy that folder. Now I'm going to combine them all.
So it does look like there's a massive Facebook outage, and last time it happened was yesterday, I believe, at 8 p.m. And there was on this one site there was 1,051 reports of it being down, and today right around at right after 2 o'clock, which is when the server went down again, over 3,100 have reported now. So it's a lot. It's a pretty big boo-boo.
So what I'm doing now is I like to soften edges. You know, I like to do it in my oil painting, traditional painting, and I like to do it digitally as well. And so I've got my blend. I'm actually using one of my foliage brushes that tends to work really well for breaking up edges when you put it as a blending brush. It creates these really nice kind of broken up soft edges. I like to soften areas where the light's a little bit brighter. Gives it a little bit of a glow. And then the other thing I like to do with my smudge brush is, I gotta drop down, here we go. Oh, I might have to make one. I'll show you guys. File, new. And we're gonna make this inches, and I'm gonna make it 3 inches by 3 inches by 300 DPI. I'm gonna go OK, create. So we've got that. Now I'm gonna create a new layer right on top, and I'm just gonna get a black color, and I'm just gonna come in here. Let me grab the hard round brush. I'm just going to make a few dots. And you'll see why this is so cool. Alright, so I made a few dots. Turn off the background. Now I go to edit and I can go define brush preset. And so now I've got a brush made out of those dots.
That's awesome.
So now I can, don't save that now. And now I can come back to my smudge tool and drop down to this new brush that I just made with my smudge tool, and watch what I can do. I can go in, I'll zoom in tight so you can see, and drop it down a little bit, and I can create fur texture.
Nice.
That's so cool.
Yeah, see
Wow.
that? A little cheat. And it just smudges. I got it set a little bit high. The strength is a little high. But now you can see.
A specific advantage to digital.
Exactly.
That's wicked smart.
Isn't that cheating? Yes, it is cheating. I say
No, it's
cheat.
not. You're using the tool.
I say cheat all you can. Yeah, exactly.
You're just using the tool. That's just. If it lets you do it, it's not cheating.
Exactly. Yeah, people ask me about, photo bashing, when you're doing character design. Isn't that cheating?
Is this
Wow.
Raja's dad?
Is that someone said?
Yes.
Yeah, someone on YouTube asked that.
No.
No.
But you can create this nice kind of soft feel. You want to be careful because you can overdo it as well.
So this reference was from Big Cat Habitat.
No, this is reference I shot at the San Diego Zoo about 15 years ago. Yeah.
I actually got
First moved to California.
I actually got a lot of really nice tiger photos from that time at Big Cat Habitat.
Oh, this on this last trip?
Yeah,
Yeah.
lots of really good ones. I think even you will be like, all right, I'm going to take these for myself.
So you can see this advantage that you get by being able to do this. You can create some nice texture really quickly. It just adds to the illusion.
Have you read any of the questions lately up there?
I have not, sorry. Patty on YouTube says, just joining you from your lighting course. Actually, not the course, just the 40-minute preview, which is awesome.
Oh, good.
Good. And I wanted, Nick is reminding me, and I want to remind myself, just to let you guys know that, as a result of everyone being quarantined, and we kind of want to do our part, everything is really deeply discounted on the site. So you go and check it out. Pretty much everything on the site is really discounted, along with our animation course being completely free. I overdid that one.
Another advantage. Undo.
Have you ever
Caroline.
tried doing that on paper?
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Aaron, do you have any advice on making characters of the same species distinct from one another? That's a good question.
Nice.
Also, how do you push shapes in design without it looking too ridiculous or unrealistic? Both of those are awesome questions. This is something that we would run into very often in our films, whether they're humans, in our case, Brother Bear. How do you make 15 different bears that all look different? And part of that goes to your second question, is pushing. We got to be willing to push until they're broken. Sometimes you don't know the limit until you pass the limit. But one thing that we would do is, and it's a great habit to get into when you're designing, especially a cast of characters, is the first thing you wanted to kind of get them to look different from is through silhouette. So when you create their silhouettes, if you could see a distinct difference in their silhouettes, chances are as you finish your designs, you'll see the differences after that. And so that's my biggest piece of advice there is, do a lineup of your characters, but do it all in silhouette and see how different they look. If they don't look different enough, then you might want to go back and push them. I think I'm pretty much there.
Almost there.
Pretty much there. Let's I'm gonna try something.
12 hours later.
Oops, that's
Famous
not the
last words. I'm going to try something else here.
one. I want to push the saturation
wolf.
just a touch.
Some,
Just a touch.
Got some cool slow mo video then.
yeah.
I like that. I like that.
Yep.
It's a little
I like
better.
that. I like that
And
a
then
lot.
there's- and I like to play with my color dodge. Dodging some color.
It's a bit dodgy that.
It is. Aha!
It's a bit dodgy.
Color dodge right there. And we'll drop that opacity way down. And we'll just, I put a really bright yellow orange. I want to see if just burn in a little bit. Just brighten that right up. Get that sense of light. Gotta be careful not to overdo it. And what I like to do is create a layer underneath it of the same cat, of the same image. So that way, if I do overdo it, like I feel like I did up here, I can just come up and erase away and it's looking at the image underneath. So that's okay. Oh, I'm working on the wrong layer. Let me put it up here. There we go.
I hate it when you get on the wrong layer. You're just like, no!
There we go.
Oh, looks like Facebook is back up and running.
Now we're going to set this to multiply, a new layer. And I want to try
The live stream is not playing on Facebook though.
gradient tool. Just darken that, just darken that a little bit.
Just gonna dirkin that.
I'm gonna
Just
dirk.
gonna, are you just gonna dirkin that?
There we go. So there's our cat lit,
Meow.
lit up.
Sweet.
There it is. Whoops, let me pan and scan for you.
That cat is lit.
For those of you on a phone, there, now you see it really blown up.
For all the phone users.
Hi Aaron, I have a technical question. I see you work in RGB. Do you convert this to CMYK if you want to print a piece? Yes, I do. Is this done through the convert to profile? Yes, option. All the best. Yes and yes. So you nailed it. And usually, I don't usually pay attention to what color profile I'm working in, which is kind of a bad habit. So, because most of the time I'm not printing my stuff, but I always want to have the option to print, and in which case I'm not paying it. I'm usually painting in the wrong color profile. So, all right, one more question. Hello, Aaron. Have you ever drawn anything from memory, thinking it was original, and later it turned out to be an unintentional plagiarism? Sometimes it's happened to me, and it's a little frustrating. Well, first of all, if you're doing just something from memory out of your head, it's not plagiarism. Now, if you're trying to sell it, but I mean, a lot of people have the same subjects in their heads, and it comes out. It's a lot of paranoid artists out there that I've met that just seem to think everybody wants to copy their work, and more often than not, no one wants to copy your work.
I just think great minds think alike.
Yes, it really is. I think there's a lot of times there's just a lot of commonalities in the zeitgeist of everyone's mind out there or whatever, and it's just it just happens. You know, but yes, that's happened to me before. Very much so.
Aren't we pretty much consigned to reality? Like, I mean, not entirely, but aren't we kind of, 10 guys can draw a tiger, and you're kind of stuck with the stripes, and you're stuck with the
Yeah.
the anatomy, and like if you're going to tell the truth, or people can have the same version of the truth. That you're kind of consigned to work from what you've got, and I've
Exactly.
seen people's paintings look similar, or I had an artist call me and say, I noticed you did a painting of this from when we were in Mexico painting, and he goes, I wanted to do a painting of that as well, but now I'm scared to do it because you've already done it. And I said, you were on the trip too. This is your scrap too. You were there.
Yeah.
This is as much yours as it is mine, and I don't care. You can paint it too. You'll have your own version of it.
Exactly.
It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, you're right.
The Facebook live stream is back up and running,
Right on.
Yay.
and now it's close to the end.
So we are done. So once again, I want to remind you guys that our brand new lighting course is out, and it's available. It's at creatureartteacher.com/light, and everything else is very deeply discounted. We want everyone to stay safe, stay in your home, and get through all of this. We're sorry that everyone's going through this. We're also going to go back and increase the number of live streams that we're doing until we get through all of this. So, and pretty soon, look for us probably around twice a week. I got to get together with Nick and decide when we can schedule it. But we're going to go back to that, and until we get through all of this. And also, remember, my Fundamentals of Animation course is free. Go on over to creatureartteacher.com and you can download that for free. We had a few people asking, well, am I going to get charged for it after I keep it for a certain amount of time? No, it's free forever. You can have it and you can do whatever you want with it. And so go over there and download that if you're interested in animation. You've got a full course on my approach to the fundamentals.
Someone's
of
asking
animation.
on YouTube if you've ever heard of Greg Beecham.
Greg Beecham and I are good friends. Yes, I do know Greg
They were
Beecham.
in Africa together.
We went to Africa together. We've been to Montana together. Matter of fact, I've got a frame that he sent me hanging in my living room. So yes, I know Greg Beecham very well.
His art is awesome.
Yeah, he's an incredible
Wildlife
painter.
artist.
He's a super nice guy. But also, if you're interested, we've got other artists at our website as well, including Ronnie Williford, who's got a couple of great courses on color, painting, really great stuff. He's also going to be coming out very soon with a approach to drawing, which is going to be really great, and I think a lot of you will benefit from it. So it's not just me; it's other artists, but it's I've been very careful to kind of pick the people that I want in there that are professionals that have a really good pedigree, and so everyone that you're going to find in there really they know their stuff, and that's important for me as someone that runs this site, and Nick. So we hope you guys had a great time today. Stay safe, and remember that new lighting course. It's available now. I've been talking about it, and it's available now. So go check that out. But stay safe and put some beauty back in the world, because that's what we're supposed to do as artists, especially now. We really got to do that. And just be nice to people. Only buy one package of toilet paper. Put your card away. Put your grocery card away. Especially now.
Especially now.
Treat your
Just be
service
sure to wipe
workers-
down the handlebars
Treat
first.
Yeah,
your service workers and package delivery people well.
Yes.
Don't treat them like crap,
Yeah.
please.
So anyway, I hope you guys have a great week. We'll definitely see you next Friday we might see you before that because like I said, we're going to be increasing our number of live streams that we're going to be doing. So with that, I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Stay safe. While your kids are out of school, teach them how to balance a checkbook.
Oh,
Teach
man.
them how to change a tire. Teach them some
Yeah.
stuff that they're going to use.
Yeah.
That's right.
Teach them some very, very valuable stuff.
It's tax season. Teach them how to do taxes.
No doubt. Absolutely.
Teach them how to vote.
Yeah. So anyway, and thank you guys for coming on.
It's
It was,
been great.
My
it was
pleasure.
wonderful. And
Wave to that camera there.
thank you
and
for Dante,
Ronnie.
Caroline, Ronnie,
Yep.
to Dustin.
Hi.
Probably Bebop? No?
And
Right.
are you? Is that your official?
Yeah, that's
outro?
my official. I'm
Oh.
handing it off to you.
Oh, I thought you were just like, okay.
No.
Well, thank you guys so much for watching. That was a bit of a delayed reaction. And glad you guys enjoyed this stream. And if any of you guys are interested in any wildlife photography, you can check out my Instagram at Dustin_Blaze, and spelled Blaise.
Oh yeah, that's
And-
something I forgot. We're going to be, and Dustin's going to be doing some packs, wildlife reference packs that we'll be getting up on the site fairly soon as well.
That is correct. We are making the very final little details here and there. We're getting all that figured out. And yeah, so expect those very soon. And we might do a promotion about that sometime next week, maybe the week after.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Sure.
Well, anyways, until then, thank you guys so much again so much for watching. And until then, Cowboy Bebop. See ya.
Bye now.